Well, hello and thank you for joining me for another ITY video with top Australian IT executives. So I have with me on my left is Beau Bertoli. He is the joint CEO of Prosper. And on my right, I have Greg Moshav, also joint CEO of Prosper. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
So probably best to start with, just give us a little bit of a short history about each of yourselves before we get on to what Prosper is and why we're here at the Deloitte Fast 50 Awards today.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Beau and been with Prosper for just over 3 years now. I joined Greg having come from a background in commercial finance. So what we happen to do as a business, which is in online business lending, I had a very vivid career and experience to some of the problems that we faced as an Australian industry, and saw the opportunity with Greg to join Prosper pretty early on.
So Greg, are you the founder?
I was the founder. My background, I've always had small businesses, so since 16.
Which is a perfect qualification to be in the lending business.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Yeah, absolutely. We've both got great stories of trying to raise money in the past and not having any access to capital, so we are our customers. And although we're a much bigger business now, we both really understand the need for capital for small businesses.
So what is Prosper in a nutshell, but beyond what you've just told us?
So we're a small business online lender, and we're constantly finding innovative solutions to serve the capital needs of our business customers. We're really passionate about providing amazing experiences and understanding, the time-poor nature of small businesses, so finding newer and better ways to meet their needs.
Sure. And in a world of banks and crowdfunding and venture capitalists and angels and even politicians all of a sudden talking about the need for all of this new money to come into the tech space, why the need for Prosper?
Well, I think that it's a well-known fact that Australia is a small business economy. So there's 2 million small businesses in Australia. Yep. They represent something like 46% of GDP. And it's also a well-known fact that finance or capital can help a small business grow.
Sure.
And whether you're a little corner store or you're BHP, you can use finance to grow your business. And unfortunately in Australia, we've never had a solution for these small businesses with finance. And that was where Prosper came along, and Greg came up with the original idea of, well, how do we get capital in the hands of these small business owners? And how do we do it in an online manner that's really fast, really efficient, and understanding a small business owner is very time poor, doing it in a way that's not the old way of doing finance. So gone are the days where you have to apply for finance with a 16-page application, go and submit it, wait 3 weeks to get a response. You can now go online. You can put your information in 5 to 10 minutes, receive a response that day with the funds quite often received into your account overnight. So Prosper's been very innovative in that way and come up with a lot of new technologies to enable that transaction to help a customer get finance.
And to have that trust level established so quickly as well.
Absolutely.
So what are the sort of amounts of money that we're talking about? That people, some of your customers have come to you for? And
So we lend anywhere up to $250,000, starting at $5,000. So our average loan size is around $30,000, which we feel works really well with the small business owner. And
what are some examples of small businesses that you can share that have either they've grown much bigger, or guys that have taken, or groups have taken the 30,000 and really multiplied that into something incredible?
It's a really good point actually. In fact, probably 95% of our customers have that story, and there's a whole bunch of case studies on our website.
prospa.com.
That's right. Yeah. Prosper.com. You can hear firsthand from our customers, but it's very common for a business owner to have a growth plan. And I remember being in a forum once where there were 400 small business owners, and I said to them, if I could give you $25,000 right now, could you find a good use for it in your business? And put your hand up, and something like 90% of the room put their hand up. And it's a reality that every small business owner is passionate about their business, and when they have access to capital, they can take advantage of opportunities. So we've got countless examples of people that have borrowed $20,000 from us, renovated their restaurant, for example, added an extra 20 seats, and made another $100,000 a year in revenue off the back of that. So we find ourselves as growth partners to our customers, and we're constantly looking for ways to try and help them grow their business to be the best it can be.
And do you take some equity in their business, or do they pay you back over a certain amount of time? I mean, I'm sure all this information is on the website, but I'm asking.
We don't know. So we're an entirely debt product, which is great for a small business owner. It means you're not giving away any of your
hard-earned equity
in your business. And it's a fixed term loan. So up front, you know exactly what you're going to be repaying. And that's a little bit different to a line of credit or a credit card where you could be paying interest for years in some cases on those type of products. So
how much money have you guys turned over now over the past 3 years? Must be millions.
Yeah, so we've lent over $80 million and growing very quickly from there. And that's just in a short space of time. So that's in the last 3.5 years.
Incredible. Now, people would have known because they'll be reading the article around this video that Prosper was the winner tonight of the ASX, the ASX and Deloitte Top Fast 50. And so, I mean, what did you have to do to apply, and you know, what was that process like? I mean, and you know, what was the characteristic that got you to win tonight?
Yeah, sure. So the application process, it's pretty involved. You've got to obviously have a fast-growing business. So at the core, you have to be solving a real problem that exists.
Was it as easy to apply for the Top Fast 50 as it is to apply for a Prosper loan?
Probably not.
It didn't take less than 10 minutes.
Well, maybe you could approach ASX and Deloitte and say, hey, we've got a platform for you. That'll make it a bit easier.
It's a great idea. Look, it's not too cumbersome. So
Sure.
You've got to talk about why your business exists. So
Yeah.
what's the purpose of your business? What's the problem you're setting out to solve?
Mm-hmm.
Why does that matter? And obviously in our case, there's a really big problem, which is millions of businesses cannot access finance.
Don't have good, easy access to capital.
Precisely, and
Yeah.
Prosper's setting out to try and solve that problem.
And you guys are disruptors, really, aren't you?
In many ways,
this is what this is,
absolutely.
yeah.
It's there's lots of different ways to look at disruption, and you can come into an established industry and shake it up, the likes of Uber, or in our case, you can come into an industry where there was an enormous amount of unmet demand, and in our industry, we're looking at somewhere in the realm of $10 to $20 billion. And when you actually stop and think about what $10 billion of lending into Australia's small businesses could do, it's phenomenal. It has a real impact on the economy, and that's why we're so passionate about it. You mentioned the government is very active about it as well. We've heard a lot of reports and got a lot of support from government around how do we get more capital in these small business owners' hands. And it's great to see that also the banking industry is now starting to look at what companies like Prosper are doing and saying, well, it's really interesting. Could we partner up with you guys and find ways to actually try and support our customers?
Sort of complementary rather than completely disruptive. And you guys are growing together rather than growing apart.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Now, I heard them say that you guys had achieved double the amount of growth as the 2014 winner. So what percentage was that?
It was 6,731% growth.
So you've set
971. 6,971.
6,971. So you've set a new benchmark that is that the next year they're going to have to work triply hard to try and beat.
That's what
Exactly
right.
Are you going to be applying again next year to?
We will be. I think next year we move into the different category, which is businesses into their fourth financial year. So we'll be looking to enter again. And it's a great, I think, accolade for not just us and our business, but also our team. I mean, we've got something like 70 employees now in our business, and we're all Australian-based employees. It really is a great success story of Australian employment growth, and in times when everyone's talking doom and gloom across the economy, it's actually great here to have a great success story and for our team to be a part of that with us.
And I was going to say, I mean, the business environment must be good. You know, if you guys are growing and you've had this sort of growth, people must be coming to you with ideas, and this must be a good sign of a growing economy.
Absolutely. We're very bullish on the Australian economy, and I think our product sort of speaks for itself and shows the customers are coming to us. It's got great demand.
Are you guys already fielding requests from overseas to start lending over there, or am I delving into top secret areas we should be talking about? Yeah.
We're definitely the world's an opportunity, but
Sure.
we're very focused on Australian finance. We think there's a long way to go to solving the problems here. So at the moment, just very focused on the Australian market.
So, what will the industry look like in the next 5 to 10 years? I mean, we're looking at the crystal ball. Will you guys be Australia's biggest fifth bank? Will there be a number of competitors nipping at your heels? Will we have moved into, I don't know, something completely different? I mean, a cashless society. I mean, I doubt that, but you never know. we look at Star Trek, and that's a few years, and that's supposed to be cashless. You know,
I wish we had the crystal ball. Great to see what it looks like. Look, I think there's a lot of trends happening globally that will start to accelerate in the way that they actually impact the Australian economy. So, I mean, the way that data is available in this day and age is very different to even 5 years ago, and that's making lending decisions more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, we look at something like 400 different data points when we assess the credit risk of a business. And that allows us to do some pretty innovative stuff in terms of the way that we actually make those decisions and take risk in ways that some of the traditional institutions may not. And I think that data availability is going to become more and more, people seem very willing in this day and age, even though they're a bit concerned, they're sharing their data, and I think that's going to create some very interesting methodologies in the way that people use that data.
Sure.
We're well past the age of big data into the next thing. I think the other thing that's happening certainly at a global level is the way that capital is being lent out is changing. So, currently, and even rewind 10 years, the Australian banks had to go to the international wholesale markets and rely on deposits. In this day and age, someone can open up a business in Jamaica and lend money to a business in America or in Europe or in Australia. So there's this globalization of capital that's happening, and I think that trend will continue to accelerate. And it'll be very interesting to see whether lending stays local or lending becomes more global as it is today.
Are there any messages you'd like to give to potential customers that are watching, or to people that have been customers of yours for some time that have been successful? I mean, do you want them to come and get more money from you? What's something you'd like to tell people that are watching now that are thinking, I need to talk to you guys?
Absolutely. Well, we'd say we welcome you to come apply, and we hope to fund your growth in the future. So we think we've got a great platform, and we look forward to continuously helping small businesses succeed.
Now, I always like to ask just quickly for you, both of you, the people I'm interviewing, for them to share the best piece of advice that they've ever received to help them help them get to where they are today. Because normally they're very successful people I'm talking to, and you've got something that you can share. So we'll start with you, Beau.
Yeah, sure. So I've had a lot of great advice over the years. I've been very lucky to have great mentors and people around me. But I think fundamentally the best advice I've ever heard is never fear failure and embrace it. And I look at our business, I look at things we've been involved in the past, I look at the way that we run a marketing campaign, the way we trial a new product. We're constantly failing, but yet that leads to success. And there's a classic quote as well from Thomas Edison. He said something like, I didn't find 10,000 ways that failed, found 10,000 ways that didn't work.
That's right.
Then he invented the light bulb. So I really believe in embracing failure as a really big component of success.
And Greg?
Also had great mentors in the past and a lot of great advice. I think the best advice I've ever received is just putting the customer first and asking questions. So to Beau's point, we try a lot, we learn, we ask, and just having a finance company that's very customer focused, that's very user experience focused, it's allowed us to enter a market and disrupt or innovate in a space where we're providing solutions that people have always wanted, and just using technology to actually deliver that. So I think that advice is always holding true for me, and I think if you ask people what they want, they'll often tell you.
Sure. I mean, you mentioned some people just want to renovate their restaurant and open up those new seats, but you must be a disruptor helping some other disruptors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, in many cases, we've got a group where we've helped them open. They've had 13 retail stores. We've helped them open another 25 retail stores. They're 38 now, and they're taking on some of the big brands that are household names. So, absolutely, it's great to be a part of those stories and. We've got a wall in our office of all of our customer stories, and we've run out of space. We need another wall now to start sharing more and more of those stories. But it gives us a lot of satisfaction to come into work every day and look at that wall of thousands of stories where we've helped these business owners succeed.
Now, I know, Greg, you were welcoming potential customers to come and talk to you, but are there any final messages that you would like to impart to ITY viewers and readers, and to your current and future customers from both of you? Beyond what you said before, about come and talk to us.
Absolutely. I guess the advice is always keep trying. Myself and Beau both had multiple ventures in the past, and just keep learning. So we love small business. We celebrate failure and we celebrate success. So just always giving it a go, and it's exciting times.
And Beau?
Yeah, absolutely. I think always keeping your eye on the big picture. Thinking much bigger, and I think global act local kind of concept. The big picture can get away from you when you're involved in the day to day, and one of the things that we often talk to our team about is that the small business owner wears many hats. They're the general manager, they're the marketing manager. They've got to take their hat off and put on the IT hat.
HR manager,
they do it all.
The office nurse if you need to be, everything.
Right. That's right. So just taking that moment to pull out of that day to day and go, all right, hang on a second, are we still working on the right things? Is the business heading in the right direction? And am I making my long-term goals come to life? And I think it's just crucial to keep that long-term view as well as short-term day to day.
Well, congratulations to Prosper on being the winner of the Deloitte Technology Fast 50 Award for 2015, and I wish both of you and the entire company the greatest of success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.